Hello. Hello and welcome. Welcome back. Or maybe the first time. Maybe. Today I am a little bit late. We had our dinner pretty late, so that's why I'm so late. But now I'm here. So we can do some interesting stuff today. Of course, first of all, we have our quick sketch that I'm gonna do in just a few minutes. After that, we will go over to my hold on, I'm just setting stuff up. Okay. We're gonna go over to my long-term project for now. The long-term project will be a submission to the MSI Creator Awards. That's a competition for different mediums, not only 3D animations or 3D characters or like overall 3D projects, but also video editing and what was the last one? 2D design, basically 2D projects. So the theme for that competition is aesthetics meets technology, and I'm gonna tell you when we get there what my idea or what my fleshed out idea is for the competition, what my piece should be like or what my piece will be. Then today we're gonna start blocking out the scene, probably working on overall just the blocking out the I'm gonna make a character or like a character, and probably also bring in the lights already just to see what the lights look like. Maybe we'll change them later, but that's what I'm gonna do. And yeah, let's see how far we get today. Maybe we will even get to the sculpting part. That would be pretty cool. If not, then we're gonna go to that tomorrow. So today I'm mainly gonna show you how I start my big Blender projects, whether that is for any like competitions or just in general. And then yeah, we're just gonna continue working on it over multiple streams until we submit it, basically. Of course, before we do that though, we will do our quick sketch. So let's get right into it. We of course have a little bit less time, but we're not pressed on time today. We have quite some time to just chill and work, talk about some stuff. We are not really like, we don't have like last week I did a likeness sculpting practice marathon with 4 streams and 4 likeness sculpts, and this, like, that marathon was kind of a, like, it was always in a hurry because it roughly takes me like 3.5 to 4 hours to finish a likeness sculpt. But yeah, I would say 3.5 to 4 hours, and I only had 3.5 hours to finish every single likeness sculpt, so I was kind of pressed on time. So this week it's more chill. We can more talk about some stuff, do some cool stuff without having the need to rush through it. So I think I'm ready. Let me remove this ball, put these 2 into the camera collection. There you go. I have my timer. Let me just quickly think about what I want to do. That's the worst. I think I have an idea. So I'm thinking about maybe importing some stuff or appending some stuff, but I don't know how long I have. So roughly, like how much time it's gonna take me. Just thinking about what I could do and how that would turn out. How, like, it's a little bit harder to do it in just 30 minutes because then you have like a time limit that you have to hit or like finish the project in that limit, which kind of limits to what extent or what kind of projects we can do. So I'm just thinking about something visually appealing and interesting that also doesn't take too long. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. I think I have something what I could do. Yeah, okay, I think I have something what we could do. Okay. I'm not quite sure if that's gonna work, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm ready. Hopefully you are as well. 30 minutes, ready to go. Let me just quickly pull up the one thing I need. So I don't waste time just searching for it. There you go, okay. So I am ready, hopefully you are as well. 30 minutes, quick sketch number 52. Yeah. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, first of all, let's grab my base mesh. Nope, not opening it, just appending. Okay, so I looked a little bit more into geometry nodes, and my suspicion was correct, kinda, that geometry nodes are basically or similar to particle simulations in terms of how they spawn, so that you can scatter them, for example, on a volume or an object. But geometry nodes go way more in depth. So that's the difference, basically. Just that you have way more freedom and way more possibilities that like what you can do with them. So that's definitely one thing I'm gonna look more into in the future. Of course not today. Today we're gonna work on something else. Let me put this a little bit lower. Oh, hold on, it's stuck. Okay, there you go. Okay, and then I'm gonna make this like this again, a little bit more. Okay, that's a nice fashion pose. Maybe a little less here. Okay. I cannot spend too much time on this pose itself. I kind of want to put in quite a lot, so let's do this pretty quick. Okay, let's grab this one, pull it down. Where's the neck? Just looking for a nice dramatic pose right now. Okay. Now this arm. Rested on the hip. Something like this, and then rotating it. Putting that on the hip. Looks like a dance move right now. Looks like some kind of Michael Jackson dance move. Okay, let me now go in here, grab this one. Let me first of all, before I do anything, reduce the amount of resolution so it's faster. There you go. Come here. Okay, individual. Okay. Grab all of these, all of them basically. Like yesterday, I just select all of them individually, all the fingers. I think I can just select all of them if he's supposed to grab something. Oh, hello, welcome back. Hope your lessons yesterday were interesting rather. Hope you had a great day. I'm doing all the posts today. Let's see, how should this look like? Maybe something like this. Hold on, okay, he's supposed to have something in his hands. That's why I'm trying to figure out in which hand he should hold it. Okay, individual. Now all the fingers. There you go. Okay, maybe this hand could be relaxed or a little bit more relaxed. That's already too much time I'm spending on this, but whatever. Okay. Looks kind of weird, but whatever. We don't have too much time. We never have. Okay, 5 minutes, that's pretty good. Let's rotate this in a little bit more. Okay. Perfect. Let me bring in this stick. Let's see. My good old icosphere, make it smaller. Pull it up. Okay. Go in here, put in a one inset. Okay. Should we make it a little bit longer? We could also probably cut in hold on, I need my handle first, and then I can put in like that. That should be pretty good. Okay, now I can select these. Okay, maybe this one as well. Oh, wrong one. Alt E, extrude along normals. Make it a little bit wider, not too wide. Okay. I think I'm gonna do it differently. I'm gonna select this one as well. Let's remove this part. Okay. Kind of stressed out right now because I only have 30 minutes to finish this, so I'm kind of concentrated on this. Okay. So we have this nice badge. This one will also glow, just like yesterday. Kind of want where's the camera? There it is. So this is basically my daily quick sketch where I just give myself 30 minutes to finish a piece, and that's what I'm doing every day just to warm up and get into the groove. And I don't want to spend too much time on it. You probably know that sometimes when you're really into something or really into a piece that you can spend like hours on it without really realizing. And if I just limit it to 30 minutes, it's just easier to like just to stop at that point, because you set yourself like the limit. You don't just tell yourself, okay, I'm going to stop at that point, but you actually have like a hard set limit, which I think makes it easier to just stop. Okay. And I don't want to spend too much time on these, so I just set that for myself. Okay. Let's go to render view first. Then I go to world settings. I want to reduce this lighting to 0 because it should be pretty, or a little bit, maybe a little bit, not too much. Okay. Then I need my glow stick. Make 2 materials. This is the first one. Maybe, actually no. Assign. Nope. New one, assign. Second one, invert. Assign. Okay. Yeah. Animations is a little bit different. I mean, you could probably do something in 30 minutes, but probably not really that much. Of course, the 30 minutes is just for myself. You can set it a little bit higher if you want. But I think with what I want to achieve in these quick sketches, 30 minutes are enough. Do you mainly work with Blender when you do your work, or do you like use other programs like Maya or 3ds Max, Cinema 4D? Okay, perfect. Maybe let's put this. Actually, let's keep it like this. Kind of want the light to illuminate him, and everything else should be pretty low or like dark. Okay. Let's change the eyes. I only need my oh, actually, do I need my transmission? I think I'm gonna keep it black. So we could probably just remove these. Okay, now they're still... Oh, of course. Okay. Now we have 19 minutes left. That's pretty good. Let's save it just so we're not losing anything. Make a new one. 52. Okay. Oh. Okay. Saved. Nice. Okay, let's give him some clothes. The first thing that I wanted to try is like a hood. Let's see if that works somehow with these flawless cloth simulations. And while I'm pressed on time, so how do we start? Let's see if we could just use a UV sphere for this. We can then just cut off some parts. Let's rotate this first. Okay. I'm not quite sure how that's going to look in the end, but we'll see. Actually, no, that's a bad idea. Just going to use a plane. Okay, then I'm going to pull these down. I also pull these back and make them smaller. That's the worst, when you have to do clothing quickly. Okay, hold on, let's put this... Actually, this has to be higher and put more forward. Now I can pull one down here. Make a phase, not a 3. One more, there you go. Oh, hold on, that's a weird... Oh, of course, because of the position of the points, but that doesn't really matter right now. I'm just gonna put in a... Hold on, that's looking weird. I guess if we bring in subdivisions, that should work better. Hopefully. I'm not gonna focus on that right now. Do you focus more on rigging or on animation? Or is it like a mix between both? Because I guess the good rigger always has to be good at animation as well, at least in the beginning. Yeah. I think it's always good to at least know, like if you have a a pipeline with multiple people, or like hold on, people, or like a pipeline with multiple jobs, knowing what the next person or the previous person needs from you, or what you will get from them, and you understand what they do as well. I think that's always important. So that's probably also why. So if you, for example, work in a big studio, then you would probably have like a dedicated rigger, and then another person is the animator. But if the animator knows what the rigger needs, or the 3D modeler rather, then that's probably just better overall, because then they can cater to that a little bit better. Okay, that's probably I'm not quite sure if that's gonna look like anything I want it to look like. Let's see. Nice blanket. Okay, let's see. I bet that just falls down and slides down from his back, so it doesn't even stay on him. We could probably go in here and just... I don't even know if that's gonna work, because there's this weird phenomenon that when I make cloth simulations on this rig, then it's just... like, I think the thing is too small, so the cloth... like the distance that you can set between the model and the cloth is just too small. Let's see. So we put a subdivision on this. Maybe put it to simple, that's probably easier. Actually, now let's edit it just to fit it on here. Okay. Let's see. I mean, let's just see if that even works. If not, then we have to think about something different. Cloth, there you go. So hopefully it at least doesn't spaz out. Let's see. Oh, okay, at least... Oh, hold on, before I celebrate, I have to put on a collision effect on this. Okay, well, let's see if we can fix this somehow. We have 30 minutes, thickness outer to the minimum. Then we go in here, bring in some more resolution. Okay, at least it stays on him. It's a little bit far away from his head, but we can probably adjust that later. Let's see. That's not too bad, I think. We could probably... the geometry, what about smoothing it? Yeah, it definitely needs a little bit more geometry. Okay, now it's just going through. Probably because it's too little distance between the model and the cloth. Let's maybe increase it by a little bit. Okay. Okay, at least it stays over him. It doesn't go through. The only problem now is that it's like sliding back. That's probably because of the weight that's at the back. I think we can keep it like this though, and then we'll just go... Oh, before we do that, let's try if we can just pull this a little bit further forward and then simulate it again. Please stay on top. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's better. Always happy to hear that. So this guy was originally intended to be an animation. I also had my second character, or my second character already modeled and wanted to put the rig on that as well. But then I thought a little bit more about what I wanted to do and how long that's gonna take me. So I canceled that project because it would just take too long. So I canceled that, and now I at least have a base image that I can use for different projects, which is a pretty nice benefit of having done that project before that I then cancelled. So it's not all gone to waste. I at least have a good, or at least a decent base mesh that I can work with. Yeah, I think I can imagine a 30-minute animation project can be pretty hard. Are you also, I guess you're making more character animations, or do you also do stuff like motion design? Or even, not even character, maybe even machines and more hard surface rigging? 9 minutes, okay. I need this, and then proportional editing, just pull it down a little bit, rotate it. Oh. Yeah. I've never really done hard surface modeling. I think that's my biggest weak spot. Stuff like cars or overall like machines wasn't really interesting to me so far. Maybe later at some point. I'm more interested in organic stuff like characters. So I don't really know how you would even start modeling a car. I saw a few speed sculpts or time lapses, but they were rather they were more about like showing off like the whole process, which like removes the aspect of really getting to know how that person like started. You can't really see the individual moves basically. Oh. Do you create your own rigs, or do you just use a rig from somewhere else? For the animation. Okay, 7 minutes. Hold on. First of all, what I want to do, go to my world settings, put this to even darker. Do we even need light in here? No, we don't. Okay, now there's no light. I can put the background lower as well. Maybe not completely. Actually, we can put it to complete blackness. Then I'm going to put in a area light. Just put in a little bit light from the side. Not too much. Just to hint at the overall forms. Wait, where's this? Oh, there it is. We can give it some thickness, this cloth. We should also apply these two modifiers so there's nothing screwing it up. Hold on. Where's my physics? There you go. Put some solidification on here. There it is. Okay. Just to make it a little bit more clothy. Perfect. He should, I think he should have it like, he should have more clothing, but I'm not quite sure. I have never used really, like, I have one character with clothing, but that clothing doesn't really fit in here. Maybe I could first of all maybe change the lighting or bring in one more on the other side. Okay. That's better. Maybe put this to something higher. Not, no, that's too much. Or maybe we could put it more as a rim light, so it only hits the model on the edge. That's better. That's too much. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, if you're more focused on animations, then probably better to use a fully rigged character. If you just want to focus on animations and getting better at that. Especially if you're not using it for any commercial or like only for personal work, then nobody cares about what you're using. If it, especially just for improvement sake, we could probably just go in here and then apply. Oh, I would have to apply this. What about duplicating this and then applying the armature? Then we have the second dude. Where is it? Where is he? Is he in here? Oh, there he is. Okay, the dude is right there. Let me remove the armature for now. There it is. If we remove this dude. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay. So what I want to do is just go in here and remove this part. Actually, no, what I'm going to do is remove only the arms. Do you prefer to work on stylized characters or more on realistic characters? Or animate them rather? Remove the faces. There you go. Now what we can do is just put in a solidify. We should probably apply a view, like a kind of multi-res like this. Apply. Make it thicker. Looks kind of weird right now. Okay. Yeah, if you're working with... Oh, hold on, his face looks kind of... swollen. 2 minutes 32. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I like working with the realistic characters as well. That's the bad part about it. If you want to really go for realism, you have to go so much into detail. Because every single detail counts. Especially when it comes to movement and not only in looks, but also in movement of characters. All these tiny, especially when you look at a face, all the small details that can make a character look kind of weird if you don't do them right. That's the hard part about keeping to realism. Okay. I think I should duplicate this one more time and then make one more adjustment. I will remove this. So this lower part, this will be the lower part. So I'm going to remove this part right there. Okay, 1 minute 22. Remove faces. Yeah, if you're doing more cinematic characters, then it's even harder. Oh, hold on. Okay, well, let's just select it like this. I've never really, I guess if you the only problem I had for my character was the like elbow and knee joints, and what I did was basically a multi-bone system with some drivers, so they... Oh, hold on. Oh, wait, that looks pretty good, I think. That makes it more dynamic, so it actually keeps its volume. I don't really know how you do that with in games, because you can't really use the multiple bones, right? You can only have like the base rig with okay, now it's done. Well, that was quick. Hold on, let me put this a little bit bigger just to give it yeah, like this. The hands. Okay. Well, that's just how it is, I guess. I think at least it looks dramatic. So we at least I achieved the look I wanted to, and we actually were able to keep the hood. Okay. Compositing. Do you mean when it comes to framing the character? That's also one thing I would still want to improve on. That's why I have a series I'm doing now for my quick sketches, where I remove all the color and only focus on stuff like values and composition, because I want to get better at it. Let's put this higher, maybe 85 looks pretty good. Yeah, that could work. It's a little bit too close, maybe 60. That looks pretty good. Yeah, composition is still one thing I want to get better at. I think sometimes I have like these crazy ideas in my head, but I can't really put them into on the canvas basically, or put them like reproduce them, which is kind of annoying. So getting better at that is definitely one thing that I want to do with these quick sketches, especially. Yeah, especially if you're doing animations, rendering must take like ages, especially if you're doing more realism stuff. At least, I mean, you can still cut down on time, but if you want to at least finish the last render, that's gonna take ages. I'm just doing like one frame, which is way easier than doing a whole animation. Okay. Let's do the test render real quick. Render of 32 looks pretty good. I think the only tip I could give you, I don't know if you have After Effects, or there are probably also other programs that can do the same. where you can upscale videos or images, or like a image sequence. So what I did for my VJ loops is I rendered them in 75% of their final size, and then I upscaled them in After Effects, which really can decrease the amount of time you need by a lot, which really helped. Because the scene was really dark, so I had to, like, there were so many, I needed quite a lot of samples so I don't have too much noise, and putting it to 75% really helped reduce that time. Oh, I should have put in like some volume, but whatever. Oh, let's go back to the render. There you go. Nope. There it is. Let's reset this. There it is. Perfect. Making the glow a little bit stronger. We don't need lens distortion. Should we decrease the threshold? I think 1 is too much. At least, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I think it looks pretty good. Okay. I'm about to sneeze, but it's not coming out. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're using a render farm, at least you don't have to do it on your own PC overnight or something. Oh, hello, welcome Boom 2. Hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed your day. Wasn't too stressful. Mine wasn't. We've just finished the quick sketch for today, a quite dramatic piece. That's the theme for the current quick sketches. Today we're gonna work on my... Oh, yeah, I don't know how much time you have, Prometheus. Maybe you want to participate as well. Today I'm starting a submission for the MSI Creator Awards. Those are... that's a competition with the theme Aesthetics Meets Technology. You can just Google it. It should be the first link you should find on Google. I'm doing a character, or like a 3D piece, like just a not an animation, but what would you call it, like static piece. But there's also a category for 2D animation, 2D graphic design and all that. Then there's video editing and also 3D animation. So maybe that's something that interests you as well. Let's put that to times 4 or times 8. Let's see, how about times... I mean, it looks pretty good already, so we could probably put this to times 4. Save that. Okay. Let's render the final piece, and then we can go over to Photoshop, finish the piece, and then we can start. Today what I'm going to do, I'm going to first of all show you, at least in terms of what I can show you, the reference I've gathered, my idea, and then we're going to go over to the block out phase. So usually it's a good idea to, when you start any creative project, to first just start with big shapes. That's always my go-to saying, big shapes, whenever I start another project. Just starting with the primitive main shapes, which then you can go into more detail with. So what I'm going to do, of course, I'm going to make a character, which means I'm going to create simple limbs first that I'm going to then pose. Once I have the final pose, I can then go into more detail. I'm also going to separate each individual limb so that I can work on them individually, and then at the end I'm going to combine them. So that just makes it easier for me to go back and forth, change individual limbs. For example, if I work on on the face, what I realized is when I did my likeness sculpts last week, that my head got smaller and smaller the more I was working on it. That means that when I, for example, create a character that seems like it has a pretty good looking head in terms of size, and then I'm working on the details, it'll be smaller and smaller, so at the end the character head will have a smaller head, and then if I have separated my head from the rest of the body, it just makes it easier to go back in, scale it up, and then combine it at the end. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to block out our scene, probably put in some lights as well, and then we'll probably also start sculpting today. I'm not quite sure how long the block out phase is going to take, but yeah. My day was also pretty boring. I had like at work there was not much to do, so at least I was able to spend some more time on geometry nodes, getting to know them a little bit better. They're definitely very interesting, especially because you can, like, one video I saw was somebody made a procedural tree with them, like an actual 3D tree, so you can change how many branches the tree has, how high it's going to be, how the leaves scatter. So it looked really interesting. So I'm kind of interested to do some more projects with geometry nodes as well, just because you can go in so much depth with this little amount of nodes. By the way, I think the music is pretty quiet. Hold on. I think I'm gonna want to make it a little bit louder. Okay. Let me remove the countdown. We don't need it anymore. PNG, quick sketch, day 52. Let's go to Photoshop. Let's save one more time. Photoshop, switch, and let me bring in the image. Oh, that's the image we did yesterday. The geometry, that's the end result from yesterday's stream where we looked into geometry nodes. I've never worked with geometry nodes before, and so I basically went in there blind and tried to figure it out myself. At some point, I went into the Blender, not library, like database to figure out a little bit more about how they work. And at the end, we got this end result, which I think looks pretty good. So, of course, that's probably the easiest way how you can use geometry nodes, just scattering objects over a plane. That's basically what this is, just a plane on the ground, and then I scattered a big rock on that plane, and then smaller rocks, and then even smaller rocks, just to make this very simple scene. And I also put these gold cubes on these bigger rocks. So a lot of scattering going on. So let me just quickly open my quick sketch. There it is. Very dramatic lighting. So now let's see if there's a good lookup. I mean, LUT lookup table that accentuates the aspects that I kind of want to. That looks pretty good, but it has like this yellow tint in there. There's probably another one that. This one's pretty good. Film stock. The only problem is we lose a little bit of detail if the light gets too bright. That's what I kind of want to pay attention to. This one's pretty good. I like that his face is just kind of lit by the light and the rest is just hidden. This is too bright, for example. Kind of want this look of just his face being revealed by the light. So I'm probably using film stock. It gets pretty bright in here, but only the light will probably has no detail anymore, which isn't too bad because there's no like detail in the light anyway. So we can probably reduce it a little bit. Yeah, 75% looks pretty good. So let's work on this some more. We can put in some contrast, make it even more drastic. Okay, then we go into lighting. We can bump up. Oh, hold on. We can't go too far. That's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. So we found a new method how you can very easily put in clothing without actually creating clothing. We just duplicated this mesh of like the dude and then made it thicker using a solidify modifier. Did that for the pants and also for the chest plate or whatever you want to call it, the jacket. Pretty simple. Dynamic, there's no color, so that, oh, it gives it some yellowish tint, but that's not really what we're looking for. So I think the only thing that I want to add now, we could, oh, hold on, maybe difference clouds could look good for the light, so we can get these clouds floating in the air. So we need a difference clouds. Wait, did I? Okay, perfect. Yesterday I didn't switch to the Photoshop scene, so nobody was able to see what I was talking about. Just made sure that I actually switched. Okay, I think that's gonna be too crazy in terms of we lose too much detail if we use them, so they're not really useful. Okay. Oh, hold on. There you go. Almost done. I wanna bring in one more thing that's just gonna spice up the image, which will be my grunge map, to make it look a little bit older, like an old image. It's very simple. I just pull up my fingerprint texture. Fingerprints, there you go. Smudges large. It looks like this. And then just increasing the size and also switching the mix mode gives us some nice grunge over the image. It's the MSI Creator Award 2021. Okay, we can also quickly go over it on stream. Just look at it. Okay, so you can see now we get this nice grunge over the image, which can give it a nice like vinyl look, with like the look of these old photos, and just make it a little bit more detailed. So this one looks pretty good. Maybe we could reduce the strength, not too strong, especially if we have that much black on the outside. It can really look like too much if it's too bright. I think that looks pretty good. We just, yeah. What I want to have is a little bit more of this whitish, with these whitish stripes on his face. Maybe we could move the texture a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. I wanted to get these nice drops on his face. Okay, perfect. So now let's save it, and then I'm gonna upload it. While I'm uploading, I will play my good old month 1 compilation, so it shouldn't take too long, like 1 or 2 minutes. I'll try to finish it after the second loop, and then we can start. Okay, almost done. Save. Okay, perfect. Save it as a JPEG. In my quick sketch folder, day 52. Perfect. Okay, I'll upload it to my phone. When that's done, I will play the compilation, so you have something to look at while I just upload my images to Instagram and all that, and then we'll start. Next month we should have 2 compilations, so one for this month as well, so there should be no looping. So there's always something more new to look at. Okay, there it is. Let me switch back to Blender. Okay. Where's my phone? Oh, it's not plugged in. The little fun fact about my compilation. When I created it, I completely ignored music. And then when I looked for music that is fitting, I actually found the perfect music. So it's actually hitting some beats, not only visually, but also like it synchronizes with the music. Just by putting it in, it worked, which is pretty fun, or pretty funny. It really hit, like, it synchronized perfectly without me changing anything in the animation as well, in the video. Okay, DCM, Instagram. Which was very satisfying to see. Okay. Perfect. I am ready. Let me switch the... Hold on, did I select the right one? I did. Oh, did I? Yeah. Yeah, I did. Okay, perfect. Okay, get ready. Enjoy. I'll be back in a few minutes, like 2 or 3. Music paused. Okay, enjoy. There we are. Bring back the music. First part is done. Quick sketch is ready or finished. We can create a new scene. Perfect. Okay. So Let me close my Photoshop window. I don't need you anymore. Actually, we can probably look at the references in Photoshop. That's probably easier. Let me just quickly prepare them, because some of them are not are NSFW. So I don't want to upset anyone. Where's my... There it is. So my references. So I think the easiest one to show would probably be the main reference first. So let me pull it up real quick. So the theme is, what was it? Aesthetics meets technology, right? Let me just quickly pull it up. MSI Creator Award. It's called Tech Meets Aesthetics, or Aesthetic. So when they also mentioned Renaissance, this year the theme of the competition is Tech Meets Aesthetic. From the Renaissance, Scientific Revolution and the Enlightenment, these periods of time are all built upon craftsmanship of humanistic aesthetics and science. Okay, so judges are looking for artworks that can demonstrate the concept, convey vital insight, and display exceptional skill in each category. So I kind of was, I already immediately got the idea of any, of a old Renaissance, maybe painting, maybe sculpture, that I then can modify in ways that it looks more modern or improved. So the first few ideas that I had were let me just, I think that's the easiest first start. Let me just quickly switch the scene. So that was my main, that's one of the references I found even before I saw that challenge or that competition. Basically old sculptures improved or enhanced by new technology, basically similar to cyberpunk. You remove your old limbs and put in replacements, machine replacements basically. That's my idea. And so I looked at a few well-known sculptures, and the sculpture that I will do is, let me see, I'm probably have to switch the scene real quick so that to make sure it's not showing any nudity. Okay, let me just quickly adjust the image so we're safe. Okay, actually this one's not that good. Let's put this one in there. Okay, hold on, I'm just gonna censor it real quick. Okay, that's a little bit big. Okay, there you go, that should work. So that's gonna be my main reference, or in the main, I'm basically gonna recreate this. But then what I'm gonna do is, of course, she's missing her limbs or her arms. So my idea was going back to cyberpunk, that I will recreate what you can see right there as an actual sculpt. So like marble, like with a marble material. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to enhance this sculpt. So bring back her arms with prosthetics that are similar to what you can see in cyberpunk. And the style that I'm probably going to go for is going to be something like the rich and fancy people of cyberpunk. So they look more like, hold on, that's a pretty so you can see different styles of aesthetics. You can see this very rough, very rigid, or thrown together as like prosthetics that you can see in most of the city. But then there's also the scene of like these highly fashionable people that pay more attention to aesthetics rather than full function. So they have these very sleek, very aesthetically pleasing, or like yeah, very slick prosthetics, which focus more on the look rather than the function. So that's probably what I'm gonna like put on her. Bring back the arms, maybe combine it with a little bit more of this. Not this one. Oh no. Nope, not this one. Oh my god, nope. This one, so that it's not completely clean, but I'm gonna bring in a little bit of these bolts and nuts as well, just to sell the look a little bit better. We have one more inspiration that I'm kind of debating whether I should do it, which will be a character from Overwatch. The only aspect I like from that character, or that was my main inspiration, that I picked her, which was the holographic face. So I thought about maybe changing her face, or like replacing her face, carving it out, and then replacing it with a hologram that is basically a 3D hologram. So that she's maybe, I don't know, wearing a mask or something, and then she has a hologram face, so her face is still there, but it's replaced by a digital face. And either that, or I'm gonna put in something more like glasses that I don't want to just put the prosthetics and like enhancements only on her arms to bring those back, but also like overall over the whole sculpt, maybe put in a few details to make it look like more fitting to what we use for her arms. So if you, for example, look at this dude, loading. Oh, takes a while, I don't know why. Let's try that again. There it is. He, for example, still has like a lot of his skin, but you can see here, for example, you have a replacement of the Adam's apple, I guess, and it's basically on top of the main layer of skin, or like replacing that part of the skin, which is what I'm probably going to do as well. So you can still see the main sculpt being there, but it just has a few enhancements that it looks more realistic. I mean, not realistic, but improved. So my theme for this piece will be old aesthetics look, or like old sculptures are aesthetically pleasing, but how about combining new with old, so technology with old handcrafted stuff, to make it even better. That's basically my main theme that I'm going for. So the first part is going to be just basically blocking out her figure, or the sculpture. Then we're going to go into the details more. So the first part will be just blocking out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate her into multiple pieces. So her lower torso, upper torso, maybe even shoulders, upper arm, lower arm, hands, just so I can position them exactly how I want them to be. And then we can work on these individual parts, and then at the end we're just going to combine them so we can finish out with texturing and all that jazz. Maybe I'm going to even remesh? Yeah, remesh this, retopologize it, just so I can make custom textures. I'm not quite sure about that yet, but that's probably what I'm gonna do. Let me drink something real quick. Oh no, I have no water, just a little bit left. Okay. It's really cool that there's not only one way you can submit your project, basically in terms of maybe 2D, 3D or whatever, but that they actually have like multiple categories for each individual medium. So you can really see what other people do in other mediums, which I think is really interesting to see. There were already some submissions, which is kind of interesting because it like just started, so there are only a few submissions for graphic design, nothing for film or 3D creation. Yeah, so we'll see what we'll see in there later. Of course, stuff like 3D characters or even 3D animations takes probably a lot more or a lot longer to finish than doing 2D graphics. Of course, it always depends on the level of detail you're going for. But yeah. So, hold on, are we in... Okay, we're still in Photoshop. Is there one more inspiration that I want to show? So, my first idea was to combine two statues, but I think I'm going to stick with one, just because that's easier to estimate how long it's going to take, because doing everything twice could probably take, like, of course, it would double the amount of time that it would take, and I don't know if I can finish a fully fleshed out character in a month or two, actually, not one but two. So that's why I'm staying with one character. Oh yeah, maybe we could look at her full body as well. There are a few aspects that I think look really cool. She looks kind of like a statue in herself, a little bit more technical with these hard edges and these smooth round corners. I mean, okay, well, hold on. These smooth round surfaces and these sharp edges. With this especially white color, she really looks like a statue herself, which I think fits pretty well for the aesthetics, especially in the arms with this ankle that looks like a sphere or ball. So we can probably grab some inspiration from here as well. But that's the main reference. So let's get back to Blender, and now let's get to the blockout phase. So what I usually do is I start with a head, because you can use a head to measure out all the other parts of the body. So if we have our head, I think it's like 7 or 8 heads make a full body, which means we just use a UV sphere. That looks pretty good. What I'll then do is just go in here. You can probably grab this vertex, put this to smooth, apply it. Let's see if that actually works. That's what I do in sculpting. Okay, that's not gonna work. We could also probably just combine two objects, or what we could do is actually, let's just combine two. So let's use a cube. No, not a cube, but a cylinder. We can make it a little bit smaller so we can see where it's actually just as big as the sphere. A little bit bigger actually. And there you go. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna use the cylinder for the jaw. So we'll make it a little bit. What I'm gonna do is go in here, select these two faces, make it... Oh, hold on, that's the wrong... Okay, so we have to go to the middle right there. I want to remove the back half of this cylinder. So we have the jaw. We don't need these, at least not right now, not like how they're set up like this. I'm just gonna select these two. Hold on, these edges. Make a face. Do the same over here. So we have our jaw shape. Okay, apparently that's too long. Okay, hold on. As I said before, blocking out beforehand is the most important, most crucial step. This way you can very easily or very quickly see if you see any mistakes in terms of composition or overall look and feel. You can really easily see if there's anything you want to change. It'll be very, very hard to do that later in the process. That's why we do the block out phase first. Grab that, scale it smaller. Okay. We should probably close this as well. There you go. We should, do we need subdivision? Probably like once. Okay, that's twice, but we can just make it edge loop. Perfect. That looks more like a face. Of course, we're gonna put in some more time to make this look a little bit more. Actually, I mean, we could, hold on, I have a, actually no, we could probably do it in sculpting as well, but that's just, I'm gonna stick to this. I think that's easier. So what I'm gonna do is I bring in a cut right there, just to pull. Okay, that's not gonna work. I think the easiest way would just to be insert this face so have it, so we have a nice cut or like an edge right there. Then I need my cut down there. And then we can adjust this piece. Maybe it should be a little bit higher. Should it? We should definitely pull up this part. We should probably put this to linear. So we have a linear progression. Okay, that's pretty good. I think it's too wide, so we'll just select both. Scale them like this. The sphere looks kind of weird, but that's not too bad. We're just looking for the main overall shape, so we're not looking for that it looks exactly like this statue in terms of face proportions or face face type. Some people have a more round face. I think she also has a more round face. We're looking more for the overall an overall head shape. We can adjust the we can individualize the head shape later. Okay, is there any, we could probably pull this up. Okay, I'm just gonna save the one. Okay, that edit I'm just gonna save so I can pull it up on stream or in Blender. MSI Creator Award, there you go. Oh, hold on. Okay, let me pull it up on stream. Image. There it is. Perfect. Okay. So that's, of course, you can see she has a more round face. We're not really looking to replicate that just now. We're just trying to get a basic head. I'm gonna subdivide this as well, so they have a kind of similar amount of resolution. That just makes it easier to combine these two. We can just combine them using a Boolean modifier. Like this. And then putting that to union. Now it's one mesh. We can then, if we're okay with the overall shape, we can then go in here and apply these things. And we have a full head. So then we can create the body. Let me just quickly pull up a reference in terms of how many heads makes a body. I think it's a little bit different if you compare female to male bodies. There's one. Okay, one for the head, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 rather. 7 or 8. No, 7.5 or 8. So Hold on, is that with the head or without? Yeah, with the head. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we will bring in an array, put this to 0 on the x-axis, put it to 1 on the z-axis, -1 actually, and there you go. Put this to 7, no, let's put it to 8, and then we will make it bigger, scale it down so it's not as big. There you go. Okay. So, we have the head. Now let's go to the torso. The easiest way that I like to do it is just with a cube, applying a subdivision 102. Let's bring in 1, 2 should work. Then I can form this into a torso. It's pretty simple. Scaling this, making it flatter. That looks pretty good. Bringing in a cut right there. Okay. This one can be, this face can be a little bit smaller. Maybe not too small. Okay. There you go. Now we have the upper body. Of course, it's not positioned yet. Too big. How many heads is that? 2, 1.5. So somewhere around there. That is how many? 1. Okay. Yeah, 2. 2 should be good. Okay, that's the upper body, maybe a little bit wide. Okay. Next up, we'll bring in the stomach region. Pretty simple. We just use another cube. We can actually, no, let's use a new one. And we'll make it smaller. Oh, not hide it. Pull it up. Okay. I remember back in the day when I was starting my projects, was always the worst when you start, you're pretty deep in it, but then you see, oh no, I would like to move this this limb would look better on this side or like in that position, and then you're screwed because you can't change anything anymore because you're already working on the details. That's the worst about it. Not doing the block out first or preparing before you actually really start. Okay. Then we have the hip region. This should probably be a little bit higher. We can adjust it later. I'm gonna just bring in the big shapes first and then we can adjust them later. So we have the hips. They will start over there. Make them a little bit bigger. Then we can shape them some more. Hips are more lifted up there, I think. It's like this. This can be lower, also further back, so we get this arch in the spine. Maybe not this far. We should also pull this back. So the blockout face is pretty simple, just moving and creating very simple, or using very simple primitive objects to create your base, basically. So the easiest way to make legs, okay, she's definitely too long. So we can make her a little bit smaller. Legs are pretty long. Legs are roughly half of your whole body in terms of length. So that's what I'm looking to go for. Okay, now we have the upper and lower body. Now we're gonna go to the legs first, and then we're gonna go to the shoulders and arms. This will first just be a T-pose, and then we can basically pose it later. T-pose just makes it easier to actually see the proper proper proportions. So let's bring in some legs. Easiest way to do that is just use a cube. Put in a subdivision, put in 2 cuts so we can have a nice cylinder. We can scale it down. Oh, hold on. Okay. Okay. That looks pretty good. We should definitely make the leg a little bit wider over here. We should probably bring in 1 more cut right there. Okay. That's probably too long. Okay. So we have until May the 31st, I think, to submit this piece. So roughly like 1.5 months, right? Roughly, or 2 months even. So that's definitely doable. I even started kind of late because it was already announced beforehand. But it should be plenty time. Should be definitely enough time to finish this. So I think it's still too long. Is it? No, it could fit. So what I'm gonna do now is bring in a new one, a new cube. I can then just duplicate the upper and like the legs and then just mirror them. That just makes it easier. I don't have to do the same for the other side as well. I've never done any competitions before, so that'll be fun to compete basically. Just submit my piece. I think somewhere in July is gonna be the result. Or well, the results will be public. I think July 16th. I also never really try to make the best piece I can. Of course, that's always like the goal, but it's never really been like the main focus. It was more the focus to learn new tools, learn a new workflow, or overall just get better at what I do. Never really just about doing the best that I can with the skills that I have at that moment. Of course, I'm always trying to put out the best that I can do, but yeah, it's never really been the driving factor. I never just sat down and said like, hey, what about just doing the best, like, I don't know, like especially doing a full project with rendering, texturing, shading and all that, making that look as good as possible. I usually either give myself a time frame that I want to finish it in, or I focus on a specific aspect that I want to really drill down on to improve on that. Okay, I think the leg looks a little bit wide. Let's make this smaller. Okay. Of course, we can't really see her legs. That will also be very interesting, sculpting the cloth. I've never really sculpted cloth. I've always either simulated them or just didn't put them in. So it'll be interesting to actually sculpt it. I've seen a few courses that talk about it, but I've never really tried it myself. So that'll be interesting. Some nice jazz music while working on a project. Is there anything better? Oh, hold on, that's not good. Okay, let me remove the head for a second. I think the head is a little bit too small right now. We can adjust it later. That's the good part about blocking out. We can see the legs seem too long. I mean, too short. We should probably make this smaller. Then the legs have some more room. That's better. Maybe. Of course, she looks kind of... Actually, does she? No. She looks kind of average in terms of proportions. Not like short legs or short whatever. Kind of average, not like in a negative sense. Okay. So with these shapes, I'm still trying to hit the overall. I'm not just trying to make like simple spheres or cylinders. I'm really trying to start putting down the overall shape, for example, for this leg. I'm not just looking for the length of every limb, but also already putting in the shape. Of course, if I bring in some subdivision, I can make them actually look like, for example, these the lower leg or upper leg, thigh, or what is it? I forgot. So using or putting in the shapes in the beginning really helps sell this or convey the look of an actual human, rather than just making a stick figure with the very simple forms. I'm also going to use a small ball for the kneecap, otherwise it's going to just look weird. A leg without a kneecap just looks kind of like there's something missing. Of course there's something missing. Okay. Okay. Let's put in the foot. Very simple. I will bring in, I think I'm gonna make a, no, I'm gonna make this flat, like this. Bring in a cut right there to make it like a very sharp edge at the bottom. Make this very longer, just scaling it. For the foot, oh, that's a long foot. We're not making clowns today. That's better. Hopefully, maybe a little bit too long still. We can't really see her feet, but I'm still trying to, at least, I'm still gonna put them in. course, you could also just grab a 3D scan of the statue, but that would be kind of boring. And also would feel kind of like cheating, in my opinion. Maybe you could even consider it cheating. So I'm not going to do that. Of course, you would still modify the 3D scan and make it more like visually pleasing and high quality, but still. Okay, just making a very simple foot. Okay, looks pretty good so far. We should probably pull this forward. Oh, not like this, like this. Okay. Once we've finished the blockout phase, we can go over to the not rigging, but similar to the pose. Using these very simple shapes, of course, makes it very easy to put on a pose. There's a very simple trick we can use to rotate these limbs on their actual ankles, which makes it easier to position them. We don't have to rotate them freely. We can use their ankles, or the ankles that would be there. Okay, that should be enough. Actually, this is quite a wide foot. Can we bring in one more cut? That's gonna... let's see. This is probably the most boring to look at. I mean, I think the most boring is probably stuff like texture painting, or something very, very... where you really go into detail. Because you basically just work on the same part over and over and over again, which is really visually stimulating at some point. But I think this phase is actually pretty interesting, because you can see rapid changes being made. Okay. Actually, it's still wide. Hold on. Okay, that's better. Pull this closer. Okay, that's a little bit slimmer. That's better. Okay. Now we can just grab the foot. Hold on, let me pull it a little bit more to the center. Okay. Select everything, duplicate it, move it over, scale it on the x-axis -1. So we mirror it basically. We then have to, hold on, flip the normals, because if we scale something by -1, the normals will be flipped outside as well. So they're not correctly set up. If we flip them, they're back to normal. One thing we have to keep in mind though, we have to copy basically the coordinate, the x coordinate that we have in here, so it's perfectly mirrored. Or we could just mirror the leg itself, but that would take a while. Let's just copy this x value and then put that in here as a -x. There you go. Oh, that's just... Okay, hold on. That's not gonna work then. Well, that's just mirror then, I guess. Shouldn't be too bad. We just go in here, bring in a mirror modifier. Mirror object, we could probably use one of these empties. So we just use probably the focus. There you go, perfect. If this one is in the center, yep, they are, perfect. We do the same for the rest. focus in here as well. Yeah, as I said before, I'm definitely gonna look more into geometry nodes. They look very, very interesting. They seem to have a lot of potential. I'm not quite sure yet if they are more, I mean, they are nodes, but I'm not quite sure if they are more like modifiers, how you interact with them, or more like shader nodes. I think the workflow with them are a little bit different. In shader nodes, you do a few pre-steps before you actually do the thing that you want to do. For example, for a circular for a circle texture, you would have to create a gradient texture that spreads out from the center to the outside of the object, that you then have to clamp using a color ramp. So you first have to create the actual shape before you can use it. I don't know if it's more like that, or if you actually work more with meshes that are preset that you then can combine in different ways. Yeah, if it's more like that, or if it's more like the node system, where you mix and match and use a lot of math to do the work. I'm not that good at math, so that's kind of the factor whether or not I'm gonna look deeper into them in the long term, because they look like a very powerful tool, but math isn't my strong suit. And if it's going to be heavily reliant on math, then that's going to be a problem. Use a sphere for the shoulders. We can bring in a mirror modifier. Let's do that later. Let's just do one side, and then we can do the other. We can probably just let's do a T-pose. Should we do a T-pose or a pose? I think a T-pose is better. The difference between the two is basically just with a T-pose, your arms are like horizontal or form a horizontal line. With a pose, they are lowered basically. They're facing down. The difference between the two, or why two of them exist, I think it's because they have just individual benefits. For example, for deformations, for animations, I think either a T pose or an A pose could be beneficial. I think that's dependent on what project you do. One character, the rig character I did, was a pose. Worked pretty well, so I can't complain about the A pose. I never tried the T pose, so I can't talk about that. Maybe at some point. Okay, that's the shoulder. Pretty short right now. Let's make it bigger. Also, it looks pretty good. Bring it pretty close. Okay, that's pretty good. For females, the shoulders are, in terms of width, they end at the same width the waist is, basically. So the waist is basically as wide as the shoulders. For male characters, making the shoulders wider than the hips lets them appear more masculine. Okay, I will keep it like this for now. Maybe, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter if we do an A pose or a T pose. We're gonna put her in the pose in the end as well. I mean, anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, Yeah, so I guess we could just bring in the other limbs first before we tweak them. So we need a few more. She has no hands, of course, so we can improvise with those. But there's a painting, a very famous painting of the Aphrodite that is depicted in that statue, where she is covering her chest with the one hand and her crotch region with the other. So we could either adapt that pose or we could do our own. I'm kind of tempted to actually adapt that pose so it resembles her or the statue more. Or we bring in like a prop that she could hold in one hand. But I think we're gonna recreate the image. That's what I'm probably gonna do. That's at least what I think will look better in the end. Okay. Let me just go in here and put in the arms. Let's just make a T-pose, I guess. That's probably the easiest way to make her. This way we have just a better way of transforming the limbs afterwards. Okay. Looking pretty good. Of course, the overall proportions we can probably also tweak if we have to. This is just for the overall body shape first. Or, yeah, proportions basically. If we see that her hips are wider, like the hips of this, or the shoulders are smaller or thinner, like closer together, then we can adjust that later. That's the arm. We can kind of see how long the arm should be. The hand, if it reaches down, like going from here all the way down, it should end, or the hand should start somewhere in here in the crotch region. That's where the hand should start. That's a good way to measure if your arms are long enough or not. I just accidentally hit my volume wheel on my headset, so it went super loud for a second. Okay, got super loud. So we can probably just duplicate this and put this over here. Adjust the shape a little bit. Oh, remove proportional editing. I want to move the individual vertices. Okay. That's better. Actually, I want to change this. I want to put this closer over here. Then this one should be further to the front. Okay. Just trying to kind of get the overall shape of the arm right, but I'm not really looking for perfection. It's gonna come later. So now if you, for example, go in here and we put our cursor to where the ankle roughly should be, somewhere over there, we can then set the transformation origin to 3D cursor, so basically this thing right there, and then if we rotate it, oh, we have to select both. We can see we can basically just use that as the ankle and move the whole arm down. We can see it's a little bit too long, or the upper body is too short. I'm thinking it should be a prior. So we'll move it closer. Let's make this shorter. I think also the elbow, or the yeah, the elbow is on what is it? The belly region right there. That's roughly where the elbow is. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Let's see if that's better. That's way better. Maybe we could make the upper arm a little bit shorter. And that should then be enough. There you go. Let's just see if everything's looking right. Yep, that looks pretty good. So we can bring in her hand as well. Kind of debating whether I should do the full hand with the fingers as well. I guess that would probably be the easiest. It's kind of tedious, but whatever. Better than doing it later and then doing something wrong. Okay, we should probably also bring in a neck. We can just grab that again. It's all made out of cylinders. Okay. Oh, hold on, is it? No, it's not. Okay, perfect. I think we should move all of it like a little bit further back. No, actually it looks pretty good. I think for like this first look. We could also maybe bring in a neck muscle, but that's not really necessary, so we'll just like not do it. Let's bring in the hand. Oh. Okay. I'm not quite sure how big a hand is compared to other parts of the body. That's still kinda guesswork on my part. But yeah, I mean, I would have to look into it some more to see if there's any like rules you can work off of. Okay, pull this further. Wait, the thumb is at the top, so we move this. No, this one should be a little bit further forward. Okay. The hand is too big. Let's make it smaller. Okay. The fun part will begin once we've finished the blockout phase. Then we can go into rigging, posing, and then we can actually start the sculpt. We join all the things together, we duplicate the blockout just so if we need to, we can go back to it, start over. Yeah. We'll probably not join all these things together, but work on them individually. So then at the end we can combine them. That's probably the best way to do it. I'm just gonna make a small cube, or cylinder rather, that I can then use for the fingers. That I can then duplicate all the time. That's pretty good. Make it smaller. There you go. I also need another one for this muscle right there, for the thumb. So we can go in here and use another cube. Nothing but cubes in here. It's funny that I found all these inspirations, especially the enhanced sculptures, basically, or like cyberpunk cyberpunk sculptures, before I found the competition, which was kind of interesting, or kind of coincidental. Pretty funny. So I saved them in my Pinterest board, and then there came the perfect position or situation to use them. Opportunity, I mean. Perfect opportunity to use them. There we have the muscle, probably a little bit too far out. Okay. Kind of like building a Lego house, just putting in brick by brick, filling out, or like creating the shape that we want. So we have the first bone of the thumb right here. I also have my anatomy reference dude right here, if I need him. To look at the hand, for example. Hands are still a mystery, how their anatomy like is in terms of musculature. The muscles are just so complex in there that I've never really delved deep enough to really understand them. So the structure, I'm kind of like, I know the main structure, but I would like to know it a little bit better, especially in terms of muscle structure, just so I can scope them with a little bit more confidence. What I did last year is there's always a Sculptember. So every September there's a sculpt challenge, where every day there's a theme. And to that theme, you should sculpt something. So last year I did it for hands. So for every day of the month, I sculpted a hand, which definitely helped, but it was still kind of weird, kind of like sculpting the hand, because I knew what I was doing, kind of, but I wasn't really sure if I was doing it fully, like, correctly, which is kind of annoying. So hold on. So we have basically two. So we'd have to change this one to an end, more like this. Okay. Thumb is done. Perfect. It's already Wednesday. I was surprised by that today. Already Wednesday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I mean Thursday, and then it's already Friday again. Kind of crazy. And like Monday is always like, oh my god, the week just started, and then Tuesday is like, okay, we're getting there. And then I don't know why, but Wednesday is always the realization moment for me. Like, especially when it's like late Wednesday, that I just think to myself, oh, only one day, then it's Friday again. Which is kind of, I don't know why, but Friday's for me like also a weekend day, just because you can sleep longer or you can stay awake for longer. So that's why I kind of don't see Sunday as a weekend day, maybe in terms of waking up later, it is a weekend day, but I prefer to stay awake longer rather than wake up later. I guess these two things go hand in hand, but yeah, I don't know. Sunday is really that special for me. I mean, you still have to work on Friday, but I don't know. Just a different feeling. Friday is also my chill day, where I don't work on anything that is related to my internet content, I will call it. So either streaming or my YouTube. That's my complete free day, where I only do I mean, at least I don't do as much as I would do on other days. So I still do my quick sketch and my videos to that quick sketch, but I don't do more than that. So I don't work on any videos or any preparations for the stream or anything. I just do the quick sketch and then that's it. I also don't really know how long the hands, I mean the fingers should be. I think the fingers are roughly as long as the lower part of the hand, maybe even a little bit shorter. I think it also depends on whether you have a female hand or a male hand. I'll just put in general shapes first and then we'll see. Okay, that's probably way too long. Okay, we have the end of the finger, but it's way too long, so let's adjust the size. Okay, good thing is if we have one finger, oh, that's still too long, I think. Hold on. Still too long. Okay, if we have one finger, we can make multiple. I want to make them thicker though. Hold on. There you go. That's better. Duplicate them, and we have two. This way we don't have to do every individual finger. We can just copy them, and we have four immediately. We can change their size and length. So the middle finger, for me at least, is longer than the others. I think for some people the two fingers, the point, what is it? Index finger is as long as the middle finger. Maybe sometimes the ring finger is as long as the middle finger. I'm gonna make it a little bit longer. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe not like thicker, but just longer. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's grab this again, duplicate it, pull it down, rotate it a little bit. There you go. And we need one more. This one will be a very small, short finger. So, even shorter. Oh, not only shorter, not longer. I mean, thinner. Okay. Of course, looks more like sausages than actual fingers, but that's just how it is in this phase. Okay, I think we could adjust the shape a little bit. Pull this closer to the center. And this one a little bit wider. Perfect. Okay, now we have a very rough hand. Let's do another test if it's long enough or too long actually. There you go. Looks pretty good. So now we can mirror this arm. We can separate the two sides and then we can pose the character. So we're almost done with the block out. And we can go over to the pose. So let's do the mirror part. Just grab the mirror modifier, select the focus empty as the mirror object. Okay. So how we can... Oh wait, what happened? Oh, of course. The way we can separate the two sides is we will first apply all the modifiers. Before I do that though, I will duplicate the whole thing so I have different versions or different different versions basically, starting with a backup for before we apply the modifiers. Then we will apply them to the second version. Then we will do the separation between the two sides. Then we will pose it. Before I pose it though, I will make another backup for after applying the modifiers. And then I'll just pose it. So we will actually get to the posing phase. I mean the sculpting phase, maybe even, which is pretty nice. That's the most fun part for me, at least. Wait, I already did this one. Give me the next finger. Oh wait, you can probably copy the modifier, right? What about selecting all these fingers? And then going in here, link, modifiers, and there you go, perfect. Wait, there's one missing. Nope, not this one, nope, okay. Link, modifiers, there you go. Perfect. Now we have the general shape. We should probably adjust her hips. Her hips don't seem to be this wide. Also probably down here. Hold on. I'm just gonna adjust the shapes a little bit more. Okay, hips, there you go. That's better. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now we will duplicate this first. Let's make a backup collection. Backup. Move everything in there. Yep, duplicate this, move it into the backup collection. We should probably parent it to the head. Is it the right head? Yep, parent. So it's all in one object. Doesn't clutter up too much. What is it? Back up 1. I always like to put in backups. I like to work non-destructive, meaning I can always go back to a previous state. There's basically no going back point, where if you make a change you can't go back. That's the worst, especially if you're working pretty experimental. You're not quite sure if what you're doing is actually what you want to do or what'll look right. So stuff like applying modifiers you can't really go back on, especially if you do too many changes or like reopen the program. That's why I do my backups. Just applying all these modifiers, and then we can separate the two sides, which is pretty simple. Kind of tedious because we have to do every individual object, but shouldn't be too bad. I could have used my base mesh, but for one, I only have my male human base mesh rigged, and I have a female base mesh, but that base mesh is suboptimal in terms of how it's set up. So I kind of want to do some changes to that, or maybe make a new one before I use that, or rig it, put my rig on that as well. Yeah, so now we have mirrored these two. We can just go in here then, select one side, so we'll select this side, and then we can press P, separate by selection, and now we have two objects, so one side and one on the other. We can do that for all the objects. Oh, we have to do the same for the legs, of course. Okay. Do that for the forearms. You can expand your selection by just holding or pressing Ctrl and plus on the numpad. This way you don't have to select every single face manually. Makes it way easier, especially for these body meshes. Okay, once that's done, we can go to the posing. Before I pose her though, I will do another backup just to be sure. I don't want to do the whole separation thing again. That's why I say it's the tedious part, just going through all these objects, separating them. It's not really fun, but it has to be done. Okay. Almost done. We have to do the legs as well, of course. Oh. Good thing is she has like cloth underneath, or oh no, we can see her feet, or one of her feet. So we actually have to model feet. I've never really modeled feet before, so that'll be interesting. That'll be a new thing for me. That'll be very a learning experience, if you will. I always try to learn something new with every piece I do. So that's a good thing to learn. Separate this, kneecaps as well. Until now I'm more specialized to the face. I have way more practice sculpting the face than the whole body. I've done a full body a few times, but not like a lot. Way more faces than full bodies. Okay, now we have the full body and each individual limb on their own. So now we can post this. We can first save it. I've never saved it before. That would probably be a good idea. There it is. Okay. So now we can go into the posing. The easiest way would probably be to just use the way of using the 3D cursor for the actual rotation of the limbs. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna do it for the body, so the torso and the hips. We'll see. I think what I'm gonna do first is put all my references into pure ref, just so I have them on the side to actually see them, and not only have them in my folder in my window. So I put them in there. So I have a few more angles of this sculpt to see how the rotations and all that look like. Okay, let's see. Let me sort this real quick. So that's one of the... Wait, I don't need this one. What else do I not need? This one. I've grabbed a few sculpts or sculptures that I was debating whether or which one I should do. I thought the best one would be Aphrodite, because I think she should be the best to represent aesthetic and pleasing imagery, just because she's the goddess of basically that. And I think the sculpt itself is also pretty recognizable. Okay, perfect. Oh. We have a few close-up shots for stuff like the materials as well. Probably gonna make my own marble material as well. Probably procedural. That's just the easiest way. I could probably grab one from Texture Haven, but I'm not quite sure if there's actually a good marble material. Probably, but I think it's cooler to make it myself, especially procedural. Shouldn't be too hard, so shouldn't be too hard. Okay. Okay, she is... Can I have some more angles? I need to pull up some more. Okay. What is it called again? Can you see the name? Venus de Milo. Okay. We have some more angles. Perfect. Okay, so first of all, she is a little bit lower. So let's grab this part, pull it lower. Actually, no, I'm gonna make the feet, or like pose the feet first. I think that's easier. So this one is rotate it outwards. Slightly, like this. Then these parts are rotated out. Not too far though. I think rather the foot is more in the middle. Underneath her, it's like the support for her body weight, the main support. That's where she's mainly standing on. We then have the hip that is a little bit tilted to the side, maybe even a little bit forward. Not too far, of course. Oh, hold on, let's switch back to median point so I can rotate it like this. Okay, that's the first part. Then let's do the other leg. Let's just rotate it freely. I think that's for this leg, it's easier. Okay, her left leg is covering her right leg a little bit, so we'll try to emulate that. So this will basically be a likeness sculpt of the full body, which will be interesting. I've only done likeness sculpts of the face before, so doing a full body will definitely be interesting. Okay. Now the thigh. No, wait, is it the thigh? I think so. No. Wait, whatever. Okay. So now her foot. Hold on, let me pull it a little bit further. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Now we use the foot, tilt it upwards, like this. Also point it outwards. Is it outwards? I guess. Maybe a little bit, only a little bit. More like this. Okay, perfect. There you go. That's the lower body. Let me just quickly check something. Oh, we're at 100% charge on my phone. I want to check. Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah, maybe her feet are a little bit too large. Let's reduce the size. We can probably just put in a new origin point like this, make it smaller. Also, oh, never mind. We should have done that for both. Go in here, select everything. Control S, cursor to selected. Object, set origin to 3D cursor. Now we can select both. We can say each individual origin point should be used for the transformation. Then we can scale them down. That's probably better. They were still too big. Okay, that's better. We should probably bring in a plane to see if the right foot is too far down. So we'll put in a plane, put it down here. Okay, now it's better, easier to see. We're gonna put it lower just because we're actually, should we? Maybe like this. That's probably good. Yep. Okay, that's the lower part. Now let's do the upper part. Grabbing everything. She looks kind of like she's trying to taunt you in this pose. Okay. Is her back is a little bit arched. We probably can do that with rotating this back just a little bit. Okay, then pulling this, hold on, grabbing everything again, rotating it. Okay. We want to rotate it to the side. Actually, should we rotate this? Yeah, we could probably do that. Should be pretty good. Put that to 3D cursor. Just slightly, not too much. Okay, we then only select this. Oh, we forgot some fingers. Hold on, where are they still back there? How did they get there? Okay. I guess. Oh no, let's go back. Okay. Let's see. Yep, we don't need to remove this anymore. We just remove this region right there, the upper body and the arms. A little bit like this. Just slightly. Okay, and then forward. Okay, perfect. Then she has her shoulders moved forward. So let's do the left side first. Oh, this one's not separated yet. So we do that real quick. Selection, separate by selection. There you go. Perfect. Now we have two. What I'm going to do first is rotate the shoulder. Just forward. Then we need to rotate it down. So we select an ankle somewhere over there. Move it down. You can see the pivot points are all screwed up on the other side. Okay, we have to adjust the position a little bit. We have to adjust the shoulder as well. I think the width of the shoulder. She's just sitting there like, what are those? Okay. She should probably have a little bit lower shoulders. She has lowered her shoulders, I wanted to say. Like this, that's better. Then what does the painting look like? Where's the painting? There it is. Okay. Rearranging my references just real quick. Okay. So let's see. So the painting is definitely different from the sculpt. But what we could do is we could make a similar pose. So where she, for example, is holding up her cloth over her arm, so she's like holding it like this, holding it up. That would probably be a good pose. So let's do that real quick. We have to rotate the arm. Oh, hold on. Put that to median point. Oh, nope, that's not going to go well. I think because of the pivot points that are all screwed up. So the easiest way would probably be to just put in a ankle right there. Rotate 3D cursor. There you go, that's better. Okay. Then we should probably... no, it could work, it could work. Okay, then we go back to the, or go over to the lower arm, or the forearm. Move this back over there. You probably see what I'm going for. Let's adjust the arm a little bit. Okay. The forearm looks kind of long. I think we have to make it shorter. I mean, we could probably just select it. And make it shorter. Da-da-da, perfect. We probably have to do that for the other side as well. We can do that in a second. Just moving that over there. Now we have to move the hand. We need another anchor right there. Like this. Like this. What we also have to do is rotate the forearm with proportional editing enabled. That's better. Okay, well, that looks kind of weird. Let's do that again. Okay, that's better. Yeah, kind of. That's kind of how the arm rotates. Not perfect, but whatever. Okay, perfect. Now we will pose the hand. How does it... Oh, first before I do that, I'm going to scale down the arm on the other side as well. I don't know the exact scale that I've used, but that should be close enough. Can we see it? No, we can't. Oh, we can. Can we? Okay, well, 7.4, 3.8.1. I mean, why not? Okay, well, that was basically nothing. Okay, so she's supposed to hold it, which means she has to rotate this finger like this. So she's holding the cloth between her or with her thumb basically. More like this maybe. Looks kind of weird right now. I guess we have to rotate it out a little bit more. Okay. Then we have to bring it back out. The hand is of course the most complex part. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's do the other fingers as well. We'll go in here. So how should they look? So if you want to grab a piece of cloth, you would probably like grab it like this. Okay, so pretty close to the fingers. To put in some more dynamic, we'll actually give these fingers individual rotations, not only like a full fist, but some of them will be less rotated. Dude, I'm just adding more selections. Okay, that's okay. Put that in there. Perfect. That's the first one. Then we'll do the next one. This one will be a little bit like tighter. Oh. Yeah, okay. Move that in there. Last one. Oh, it's underneath. There you go. That's what I'm going for. I have to move the fingers closer, I think. Like this. Okay. Still sausages, but that's just how it is in this stage. There you go. There you go. Maybe make them rotate in a little bit like this. Okay. So that looks kind of like a grab hand. She's grabbing the cloth. Last finger, and then we're done with this hand, this arm. Then we can go over to the other side. Oh. Oh my god, just give me the fingers. Okay. Perfect. Okay, that's the first side. That's gonna be the mechanical arm on this side, and then we need another one on the other side. So let's bring that in now. So how should we put, like, how should we pose the other side is the question. Oh, hold on. No, never mind. The pose is still different. I was kind of shifting the sides of the arms to compare the pose of the painting and the sculpt, but even if you mirror it to the other side, the arms are still different. Okay. Okay. I guess we could pull this a little bit closer, like this. That's probably a little bit more organic. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Last pose piece, the other arm. So what should we do with that? She should could hold it like this. That's what she does in the painting. There are no hints at that in this painting, but whatever. Should still be good, I would say. So let's do that pose. Okay, so what we have to do is do the same thing we did on the other side. Select everything. Good thing is with this side, the pivot points are actually in the right position, so it'll be easier to move it. Okay. Now we use the lower arm, the forearm, and the hand. There you go. Like this, perfect. We have to rotate it though. I think the arm is pretty long. Should probably put it lower like this. Yeah, that's better. Okay, then we go to the hand. Like this. The hand is split, so this thumb looks more in this direction. It's closer to the body. Okay, like that. Then we need to rotate this a little bit. Hold on, let's reset that median point. Okay, we then have the other fingers. The point, the index finger, is closer to the thumb than the other fingers. They separate basically like hold on, like this. Not as tied together, but almost. So let's do that real quick. There you go. We have the first finger done. Let's do the other ones. So these ones are more down, facing down. So we'll rotate them down. Not too far. That should be enough. Okay, then we'll go in here and put them closer to the body. Perfect, there it is. Let's do that for this one next. We could probably hide these finger, like the pointy, I mean the, what's it called again? The small one? The, not pointy, right? Little finger, well, that's a weird name. There was another one. Pointy, no. Is it pointy? Pinky, right, it was pinky. Pinky finger. So we don't see him, and we can just work on the next one. Okay, perfect. Last finger. This one is pretty relaxed. Perfect. Let's bring back the fingers. There they are. And there you go. That's the pose. That looks like her, right? Of course, her head is facing the wrong direction, so let's fix that real quick. Oh, bring that back to median point. That's better. Of course, the head is way too blocky right now, but that's just the state we're in. Save it. Okay. Let's remove the limbs that are missing for her as well. Maybe that'll help recognize it. Recognize her. There you go. I need some more references right there. Okay, I think the neck can be a little bit further forward, a little bit closer. Okay. That's better. Okay, so we're done with the block out. We can go into the sculpting. Oh, we have some missing pieces. There they are. Let's save that, how it is now. Okay, perfect. let me duplicate this so we have another backup. Sphere right there. Duplicate. Parent it to the object. So many dotted lines. Call that backup 2. What is this plane doing in the backup? Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So now we have the block out done. Which means we can go into sculpting. But, a big but. We've finished. I think we're gonna end the stream here. We came pretty far. Of course, we've done our quick sketch. I started a little bit later because we ate a little bit later. We ate our dinner a little bit later. So we're gonna go into this sculpting tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a little bit more interesting, hopefully, because we will sculpting. I think it's just maybe a little bit more interesting to look at rather than tediously moving small limbs around or creating them. Today was probably like the driest part. Tomorrow should be pretty fun. I'll probably start with the body and then I'll go over to the face later. I don't know if I have to sculpt the arms. I should probably do a little bit of adjusting in terms of the shape. And then once we have the overall general shape, I can go into more detail in what you can see down here in terms of the sculpt itself. And then we will create like a bionic or cybernetic arms later with probably some hard surface sculpting. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna make them just yet. That's the state of today. Tomorrow we're gonna continue. So if you want to join that tomorrow as well, feel free. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Despite that, hopefully you have a nice rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your day and yeah, take care. And maybe I'll see you next time. Bye bye.